Yeah, so these no like formal way I'd want to like introduce a podcast.
Okay.
Usually, people that come to the podcast have so much to say. Some have like a big interest in like they have probably like an agenda, or they feel like people need to listen to whatever
They have to say.
they have to say.
Okay.
Then they hit me up. Then some others are just my friends.
Yeah.
Then others are really people I'm interested in listening to, because I do host with Kenneth. Yeah,
Yes,
so like,
I've been told about Kenneth, though I haven't met him.
wait, who told you about Kenneth? Yeah, cool. Moses.
Moses, yes. Moses.
Yeah. So there are those then I put together with Kenneth that I want to listen to. Yeah, because I produced like the whole show. But then it happens like that. Then to you, it was much more of the being the influencer. Then I come to Eclipse and I see you filled up above when you don't even live here.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you have so much power over these people? Are they just your friends? Did you invite them on like a personal basis? Like, hey, come through?
Some of them I did, but I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of people there that I didn't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I have been like a content creator for a few years now. So like I have a YouTube channel, and also on Instagram, my following, which I've been able to build starting from about 2017 when I first won Miss Uganda UK. That's when people started to be interested in me. And then when I came back, like during that time for my campaign, my charity campaign, I was hosted on a lot of like TV stations here, so like NTV and radio stations as well. And I guess that's how people here got to know about me. So then I would say today, most of the people that follow my stuff are actually people based in Uganda.
For real?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Funnily enough, even though I don't live here. So when I came, I just knew that I have to at least do something for my people here, because like I can't just come and disappear. It would have felt really bad. So that's what kind of prompted me to do that event on Friday with the Ganda Vibes crew. Shout out Ganda Vibes. They pretty much put everything together. I just had to push and show up, basically. Yeah.
Do you hope to monetize something like that? Like,
of course.
To like through branding and stuff.
Of course, even that was monetized.
No, in all ways of like you got paid to host, like doing something like about you where because there's so much influence. I look at it like that's the fastest way you can get rich now without like doing.
You mean like monetizing a platform?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that is the goal. I feel like having a platform does actually put you in a place where you can actually make money from it. So that is definitely part of the plan. Still figuring out ways in which I want to do that. I have thought about like starting a fashion brand and things like that. And yeah, I have actually put like...
Are you like a fashion influencer? Exactly. That is what brings the question there.
Yes.
Are you like, because your IG,
yes.
As I was looking through your IG, there's a lot of fashion, you take a lot of pictures.
Yes.
You spend a lot of time taking pictures.
I do. Yeah. Do you know what? I feel like I've sort of moved through phases. So when I first started sort of influencing, I was mainly like a lifestyle kind of influencer, like bringing people into my life, like the kind of things I do. People are interested in that. But then I found that I actually really enjoy like modeling and taking pictures. So then I signed with an agency, like a fashion agency. So now I use my Instagram like to promote fashion brands. So you could call me a fashion influencer for now, but I feel like it's something I'm just going to do for some time, then move on to something else.
So you're not looking at it like for a lifetime to be like...
No, because it's even something I just do on the side. Do you get it? Because yeah, in the UK I'm a medical student studying to be a doctor. So I guess my interests alongside my career will change. Right now I'm really interested in fashion. And we'll see if time goes on.
And the medical school?
Medical school, yes, that's happening. So I recently...
But you're not interested in it?
No, of course I am. It's like my main thing. It is. It's my main interest. And like the things I do on the side, I'm like, I won't call it a hobbies, but like side kind of hustles. Like to make money on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How deep are you into the medical thing? Like, do you see yourself coming back to UG and changing a few things with the health system?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really post about it a lot, but it's the main part of my life, I would say. like going to school, being in the hospital. So the reason I did actually go into medicine was that so that I could come back to Uganda and have an impact on the healthcare system here. So it's my whole motivation behind like.
Why so? What do you think is wrong with?
Everything is wrong.
Yeah, but it's like collectively big.
Yeah, I feel you. I think the main things that are wrong is, first of all, patient access to healthcare is like terrible. Yeah, there are hospitals. Quality of care, like how well resourced are the hospitals? Not very well resourced. Based on the money that the government gets, I don't know how much of that money reaches the hospitals. Doctors are not being paid. There's no facilities. Simple things like oxygen in the hospitals. People are dying because it's not there. Why is there no oxygen in the hospital? So it's like basic things that are missing. And then I feel like even when it comes to people receiving care that you have to pay for, in the UK we get free healthcare. So when I come here and I see people who don't even have the money to have to pay for like a human right, which is healthcare, it doesn't sit well with me. So there's a lot of things which I see need.
Do you have like proposed suggestions of how you can bring about this change? Yeah, like have you put together something you're like working on, and this could be that platform to like expand it and amplify it?
So I'm still very early on in my career, I would say.
You're just starting the school, yeah?
Exactly. No. I'm just finishing school and starting practice, so starting to work.
Yeah.
So while I'm building myself in the UK, which is going to be for a few years, these are the kind of things I'm going to be thinking about. How exactly I'm actually going to come back and infiltrate the system, where we're going to start from. I definitely see myself sort of building like clinics and hospitals, but then there's also a way that I want to get into the system that already exists. Politically, things are still a bit, I don't know, in Uganda, like I don't think I would want to get into politics at this time.
Do you want to get into politics in the country at some time?
No, I wouldn't say like as an MP, but into like the Ministry of Health, so that I can impact things from that direction. I've been thinking about that, but that's a long-term goal. I'm still, still building myself. So we'll see how that goes.
How do you relate to being a fashion influencer? How do you emotionally connect to negative comments on your platforms?
Do you know, so funny, I don't...
As I was looking through your engagement, you get a lot of it. There's a lot of love, but do you ever like get negative?
It's rare, that's the thing. It is really rare to get negative comments. Even when I do get them, because of how rare they are, when I see it, I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't really affect me. I just either delete it because I don't like to dwell on negativity, or I definitely won't be replying. I'll just see it and leave it, move on. Yeah.
How do you connect your life in Kampala and the UK? Like, how do you balance that? Do you have the same friends who fly out with you? Is your family like still the same thing where it's easier, you don't miss them? Yeah. Do you have two split lives?
That's funny. To be honest, it's been about 3 years since I've come back to Uganda.
This is like, you've taken 3 years without coming back.
Yeah, it was last year in 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't say that I live a split life, but...
Did you grow up here?
No, I've never grown up here. I was born in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, just that growing up at home, so like my parents live in the UK and my siblings and everything. So growing up there, my parents were very strict about instilling culture in me. So people get surprised that I speak fluent Luganda as well.
Do you?
I do. Look at you. You didn't know?
Mbadde simanyi.
Nkulabye tunabakebera YouTube channel yange.
Mbadde nkebera.
Ku channel yange ninako videos.
Yes, the one where you're sharing it.
Yeah, so I speak fluent Luganda because of how strict my parents were with instilling the culture in me.
How is it? Because you see, the other reason we don't like get to like, you see Kiswahili, I have only learned a few bits of it because now I have Kando working with me and he's always speaking Kiswahili. Then
Shout out
a few of my other friends, But still, because it's not like Luganda, because that's what I grew up listening to. Then you went to school and most people are Waganda. Then the English comes in because we're always told to speak the English. It wasn't like that's Swahili. How easy is it for you to learn Luganda in the UK?
Hard. It is hard. And that's why most people there, like most people born there, don't get the opportunity to learn it because, of course, not everyone around you is going to be speaking it. The only place you can really learn it is from home with your parents. So if your parents are not really encouraging about that, or let's say they don't have time for you to really teach you the language, then you don't learn. So, but one thing I found that it definitely lies with the parents. Because like I have friends who, they can speak Luganda in the UK, but it's very broken. And then when I see when they speak around their parents, like their parents kind of laugh at them instead of encouraging and correcting. So I feel like that's where it comes from. It all starts from home and family, parents, aunties, uncles. Just, making sure that you have people to practice with who are going to encourage you to learn.
But then also the love for it, like how did you now like get to it? Like I need to add this language to my languages. Like where did you see the need for it since?
I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning it was by force. I didn't really have a love for it. That's what I'm saying. It was my parents that really pushed. But then eventually I did start to see the benefit in it. Like when I would come back to Uganda and I was actually able to communicate with people, I found that it made life quite easy. So I was grateful that I had that, skill. I was able to speak the language. And then from that, I guess I started to fall in love with my culture. So like getting into Ugandan music, I would find that I was listening to that like more than I was even listening to English music, and also watching Ugandan movies, yoga on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started consuming a lot of Ugandan content?
I would say that, yeah.
In terms of culture, how do you think you've balanced now you're Muganda, right? Because both your parents are Baganda.
Yes.
So how have you balanced that? I'm also Muganda. How have you balanced the culture to, like, how did you just adapt to it? Like, you know what, I'm not this UK person with different standards because it's a bit too different, different worlds.
I feel you.
And how did you believe in, okay, now I also need, do you actually have like a preference? Would you rather be a complete Muganda girl or like, is this working for you?
Like you said, it's a balance, really.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, being from the UK but also being a Muganda, they're both part of my identity. And the part of my identity which I tap into just depends on the environment. So for example, like if I'm at work in the UK, I cannot then start, speaking Uganda to everyone around me. I have to tap into that UK identity with me, like within me. But then when I'm here with my people, Muganda, Vana Uganda, of course, that's when I will tap into the Muganda part of my identity. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just a balance, just based on like who I'm around, where I am. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand life here, like on a Ugandan type of perspective? Do you feel like you're in that position where you'd feel you're Ugandan enough?
He said Ugandan enough. I'm Ugandan, like full stop. I don't even know what Ugandan enough means.
Exactly. Now that means this is how I want to bring that up.
Right.
In your perspective to things, you see how the different lives, how my friends who are in the UK, how I have family in the UK, so how some of that family relates when they come here is totally different, to how they want to interact with people. Some of them perceive that because they're in the UK, they probably have much more money than the people here. There's that.
Who perceives that?
Some people have just told you I have family, and some of those family members think like that. Like you cannot really try to have a conversation with them before they think you need support or something like that. So the bonds are broken like that, and you can't relate because you're in different worlds. And how do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
I do.
Yeah,
I do get it.
Does that connect? How do you? I am so lost in this question.
It's okay.
So weird.
Take your time.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, what I'm hearing you're saying is that there's a disconnect between, like,
lifestyles. These
Yeah.
are both lifestyles, and now to relate, like, how easy is it? But then you are not born here, so I cannot say, like, do you still have friends from that, like, past that you can just still relate to as just friends without it being like, nah, she went to the UK and she's this other person. Yeah.
Not really. I would say maybe my long time friends from here are mainly family, like my cousins who are around my age. But maybe that, like what you said about people in the UK thinking like people here need support all the time, comes.
Do you ever think like that?
Not really, until like somebody has actually reached out to me and said that that's actually what they want. It's not really the first thing I'm going to assume, like when I'm talking to someone, because I would say like most of the friendships and connections I have here are just genuine friendships. Like we talk about things, we talk about life, just catch up, how are you doing, and it's not really that kind of a send me money kind of conversation, you know. But maybe people that think like that do have family members who are actually
doing that to them, so it's part of their experience.
Yeah, but to be fair, I have experienced that as well. Like even when I go to visit some family, they're like, can you buy me a laptop, can you send me a smartphone, a smartwatch, like all this kind of stuff. So it is things that do happen. I guess you can't really blame people for making the assumption, but at the same time, I think I'm aware that it's not what everybody.
Okay, now you being Miss Uganda UK, you having a really good Instagram that has, you also pull a lot of influence. Do you ever feel like you're too cool to be like the average Ugandan babe?
What does that even mean? Too cool.
Too cool is an overstretch. Like, do you ever feel like how easy is it for you to interact with
people?
Yeah, with people in general.
Easy, I would say. To be honest, I like all these titles. Sometimes, like, I feel like I'm just me.
Yeah.
Do you get it? And like, even when I go out and people are like, oh, Miss Uganda, this, that, like, it's almost like I'm hearing it for the first time. I don't know how to describe it. It's not something that, like, yes, I identify with it, but it's not something that I put myself on a pedestal for. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So,
how do you feel when someone reaches out to you, like they're just being a fan for the first time and they're like, I love you, Miss Uganda? Do you feel like you're tired of that? You've had that enough?
No. No, I feel humbled every time. Like, even the fact that somebody even knows who I am. When people tell me, oh my gosh, I watch your videos, I love your videos, I'm like, wow. Like, I'm grateful that people even take the time, you know, to check out what I do, to even know who I am. So I don't think it's something I could get tired of, because ultimately I am also trying to build a platform and reach out to more people. So the more people that I can see actually, you know, are interested in what I do, it's a good feeling that I guess what I'm doing is successful. I'm doing something. Yeah. What does being Miss Uganda mean to you? Yeah, what does it mean to you? That's a deep question. To me, to be honest, so Miss Uganda UK in general, I would say, so their slogan is more than just a beauty pageant. Yes, you can have the looks, but what they mainly look for is substance.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you stand for? What are you trying to get people, you know, to know about?
As a content creator, do you do you budget? Like, how easy is it for you to like sign a brand, and what do you give them?
So like
deliverables, like how is it for you, like in fashion? And this is just for when I talked to Melissa about having you on the podcast, then I was talking to two other friends of mine. So they're like, how is she doing it in the fashion world? That's what I want to know. So I do not like you don't have like a whole blueprint of how it works, but at least you can tell me how you've been doing it for you, like negotiating brands and stuff like that.
So I would say something that I had been trying to get into for a while, just because I do have like a passion for fashion.
Yeah.
That rhymes. But it's kind of hard if you're doing it by yourself. Like, having to reach out to companies and like sell yourself, basically, like, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is my following, I would love to like collaborate with you to promote your clothes or promote your products, whatever you do. So that's kind of how I started out, making like some basic collaborations. But then a lot of the time when you're doing it for yourself, like, you don't get as much response from the companies. So that's when I made the decision a few months ago to sign to like an agency. So like they manage me and manage all those deals. So like they do the legwork, basically, like reach out to the companies and present my profile.
So is that agency looking out for brands worldwide, or are you like, do you have like a target? You said most of your audience now is Ugandan.
Yeah.
Are they selling their fashion to Ugandans?
I would say they're selling their fashion or their products internationally.
Yeah.
So like if you do go onto their websites, they do like international shipping. So you could go on and order from wherever you are, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, that my management basically helped me to make those deals, and then like connects me with the brands who will then send me their clothes, and then I promote for them. And yeah, that's how I'm doing it at the moment. Yeah.
Now, before I jumped into that whole content thing when Moses was leaving,
Yes.
I was still trying to understand being Miss Uganda, the platform, Miss Uganda UK. Like, what do you look at it like? Like, how do you want to expand it? Is it just you, the face, that, you know what, yeah, we'd love to look at you, and I don't know what they do, but the friends of mine who are like Miss Tourism here, like I'm friends to Miss Tourism, I think, Karamoja.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
She will throw out flyers when they need support. But I don't see how, like, you'd measure the impact of the platform. Yeah. Like, why people, besides, of course, the fashion sense, girls coming to be inspired by how you're living your lifestyle.
So when you say the platform, do you mean like my platform or the platform of
Miss Uganda.
Miss Uganda in general?
Yeah. Like, how do you see it? Like, when you, I don't know how you contested, like, for you, what was it for you? Like what was in for you? Like, what did you want to try to achieve? Yeah. With the platform from it. Like, I want to be Miss Uganda because...
Yeah, so I feel like when you're going for pageants, well, at least Miss Uganda UK, I can't speak for any other pageant, because they all operate a bit differently. So like some pageants will offer like a cash prize, like, you know, some enticing things, like if you win. But Miss Uganda UK doesn't really offer that. What they're looking for is someone who can stand for a cause, as I mentioned before. So it's like when you're going for it, it's more like, what can I give to the community, as opposed to what am I going to get from it. So for me, it was like, okay, which charitable causes really speak to me, and what do I want to push? What do I want to raise awareness about, raise money for, and see what change we can make in society? So that was like my main motivation going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's dope. Do you feel like there's things you need to use the platform for, like other things like you could add into, like maybe you keep talking about charity. What does a charity mean to you? Like, is it just giving back to people who need something, or is it like end goal, I want to build a reputation like this to eventually then start making money out of it?
Making money out of charity.
Yeah, people make money out of charity. I have a charity organization, but I know that I have to make money out of it for it to survive.
But not money for yourself, right? Money to sustain it, right? Or
capitalism is interesting. You have to be in a position where you're comfortable enough to help people. So you have to make money for yourself for you to get to that level.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't believe you can skip it. Like,
but I feel like this is why people are skeptical about charities, because it's like, okay, I'm giving to this charity, but how much of it is actually going to the cause I think is going to, or how much of it?
Would you rather I don't start the charity and give them some bit of it? For you, it's entirely giving. You like giving back to the people. Yeah. This is why you became a medical student. You like people.
Yes, exactly.
You want to save the world.
That is very bold. I don't think I can save the whole world, but the
you
part
do
that
your
I
part.
can, yeah.
What do you think is your purpose?
Good question.
Nice.
My purpose in life, I do feel like having an impact on the Ugandan healthcare system is a big part of it.
But you don't live in Uganda, man. It's
right now
different.
I don't.
Yeah. Are you going to come and settle in here?
Of course, I have to eventually.
But you didn't grow up here, so how easy will that be for you mentally?
I didn't grow up here, but I do have a good idea of kind of what life is like. I've been coming back very often. I've been to Uganda like, I can't even count how many times. Many, many, many times. Like even here, like this trip, I spent like a whole month here. So basically, been living here. So I've got a good insight as to what life is like. I can't say I completely know like the ins and outs, but that's the point of like knowing people. So I speak to people, find out what their challenges are in life, what life really is like here. And
which people are you talking to about life here?
Everyday people.
Look at your friends are super high celebrities. Very far from the reality we are living.
I do speak to them, yes, but I do also find time to connect with everyday people, like my family members and people that I find in different places. And yeah, they do give a good insight. And I would say that, okay, even though I don't live here, I do feel like there is something from the UK, like from having that exposure, things that I can bring from that side to improve what's going on here. Do you get it?
Do you have an idea of how you would give us like a free health care system, like how we can achieve that?
Yeah. So I think first of all it comes from like transparency with money handled by the government, because that's where the money starts from, right? Yeah. Like in terms of how it's distributed across the country in different sectors, agriculture, healthcare, etc., education. So I think it has to come from that high level, first of all, just knowing that this money that's going to healthcare is going to be allocated properly. So the way it works in the UK is from like taxes. So a percentage of taxes are specifically for the healthcare system. And it's actually, put in the right places for it to be delivered. But yeah, I think I've actually done some research into like how healthcare systems work in different countries, like globally across Europe. So just using those structures, I guess, and carrying them over here, trying to implement them, I think definitely could be.
Well, you speak like a politician. When you ever start a campaign, please call me to brand manage the campaign.
I speak like a politician, that's it.
Yeah, the politicians are very... And you really said you want to join politics at some point, but at a level that helps, yeah? You still need to access the power to like help people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be the president. I don't want to be...
If you had the chance to be the president, you wouldn't be the president?
I don't want to say too many political things. I know that politics in this country is really...
Do you have Ugandan citizenship?
I don't at the moment, but I'm working on it.
You're not Ugandan.
No.
So you can be president. But you're working on getting the citizenship here, yeah? Okay. How is life in the UK? How is life in the UK? Tell me about life in the UK. Do you experience the friends of mine that have flown out, of course, who keep telling you the same things, of course, racism, as in the elevator, I did this, but you've grown up there. So how is... It just doesn't have to be about the bad things, yeah? I just
all of that is
get
normal.
the picture
That's
from you.
part of life, really.
Exactly.
Anywhere you go.
Exactly.
When people ask me how life in the UK is, I feel like they expect like some exciting answer. But I will always say life in the UK is boring. Like there's not much to it, really. Like
it's not as fun as life here.
No, not at all.
Oh, is it just because the people here then want to live? Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
That's what I don't understand either. I mean, it makes sense in a way because the way the system is set up here, it's really hard for people to even get work, first of all, or to make something of themselves. It's just so many obstacles and hurdles. Yeah, and it makes sense that you would think that there is a brighter future outside, but those brighter horizons are not as bright always as you might think. But yeah, I would say that life in the UK... Wait, should I go back to that question? I would say that life in the UK, the reason I say it's boring is that it's just based around working hard, making money.
And the social life?
Social life is...
Do you think if you're staying in Uganda here, you'd handle the social life here? Because I feel like it's too much. There's
It's
something.
a lot.
Yeah,
like even just the period of time I've been here, I'm finding it
crazy.
hard to keep up.
Exactly.
Like, every single day there is something going on, and I have found that I've like missed a lot of what's going on just because the pace is too quick. Like, it's a lot. But I guess it's something I would be able to adapt to if I was like to move. Yeah.
Yeah. Then okay, but now you already find it boring. I think that's why you're a medical student. It's boring. Do that side. What's the difference between the Jan on Instagram and the one seated here?
What's the difference? I'm the same person. There is no difference.
That's all your life, yeah?
Yeah.
Like that's how you connect on social media. It's not about
I guess
it's not
you would
about
just
creating facets and
no. I just guess you would say that the things that I put on social media is not like my whole life. So as I said, that at the moment I'm using my Instagram as like fashion influencing kind of thing. So that's the main things you're gonna get on my Instagram. You're not gonna get like everything about my life. So like when it comes to my day-to-day, maybe some things I'll put on my story, but like work, like family, like all the like I'll say the nitty-gritty things, I wouldn't really post on my Instagram, but maybe on stories and Snapchat. I feel like I'm making this a bit too complicated, but yeah.
yeah, it's still following up. Being, what does family mean to you? Because now do you have family that permanently stays here?
Of course, lots of family. Mainly because my parents live in the UK, but mainly so like my grandparents are here, cousins, aunties, uncles, that kind of family.
What is it about being Ugandan that you love? Is it the fact that you're just Ugandan by blood?
The culture in general. I feel like it's a rich culture, and there's so much to it.
Our culture, the Buganda culture. You want to be the normal Muganda woman. Come for your man, kneel, give me my food on Sunday.
I can do that.
Peel my food and all that stuff. No, you can't do that. But people, we have evolved. I feel like that's also, we just want to stick to that because it sounds cool.
It doesn't sound cool. It's tradition. It's like, it's who we are. Do you get it? I mean, I get it. Like, times have changed. People have evolved. But I do feel like, personally, I'm big on tradition, and I feel like I in my life would like to follow.
I've not seen you in a gomesi on your Instagram.
Oh, you haven't looked enough. It's there. It's there if you scroll. It's there.
How often do you ever put on a gomesi?
Mainly for occasions, really.
In the UK or even here? And you feel like you are an accomplished Muganda woman, like.
What does that even mean?
What do you understand about being a Muganda woman, like in terms of culture? To you, what does that mean to you? Yeah.
A Muganda woman.
Do you the level of interpreting Luganda, is just greeting, getting by, getting food? Do you know the cultures? Do you know things they they consider? You know when you're going to get married, yeah? So as the woman, they put you in like a training session, a singer session.
Yes,
those things. Do you like those things? Will you abide by them? There's so much. The foods, the chicken, you're supposed to put the gizzard for like the husband.
No, that's all deep stuff.
It's deep stuff, but that's the culture you are admiring, and
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that I know everything, like those deep stuff, but it's things that I would be willing to
learn.
Yeah, learn, like listen to
and
execute, to be taught, learn, and to do as well. I mean, as long as, I know a lot of it comes under like being a Uganda woman, being like a wife, and all those things you're supposed to do as a wife as well. Which like your singers teach you, which I would be willing to follow as well. As long as, if that's what my husband wants, then I'll do it.
You what was it before the question actually runs out of my head? Interesting. You were speaking Spanish with Kando when I was
yeah.
setting this up.
Yes.
You also learned Luganda.
Yes.
How easy is it for you to like learn a language? How many languages can you speak?
I would say I speak. Okay, I speak English in Luganda.
Yeah.
French, I would say I speak like 50%. Like,
But you can get by. You can get
Yeah,
food
yeah.
and yeah.
I can, yeah. And then, because I did it for A level actually, I did French. And then also German, I did for my O levels. I can hold a very basic conversation in German. And Melissa, you know Melissa?
Yeah.
Obviously, because she's German and she
Yeah.
speaks fluently. So she always gets surprised by what I can say. So I would say I'm more inclined to like languages. I do enjoy like learning them and communicating in different languages, which I think not a lot of people, I mean, not a lot of people, not everyone enjoys. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but for me, I do feel like it's cool to be able to communicate in different languages.
Do you feel like people know this version of you, or they just think you are a pretty girl on Instagram?
I think it depends.
Yeah.
Because I do kind of talk about myself a lot more on my YouTube channel. So anyone who's
Who
like,
gives it the attention, then they'll get
Yeah.
that. Okay.
so anyone who watches my YouTube videos, I would say would know this side of me. But if you don't, then you probably wouldn't. Yeah.
What's most of your content? What is it about? What are you trying to communicate with your content?
On YouTube?
Yeah. Are you just putting your life there in
So
forms
it
of
mainly
vlogs?
started as like a lifestyle channel, and then whenever I would like travel on holidays, I'd put like travel content as well as like some advice.
Yeah.
Based on like sharing my experiences, things that I have been through, and then advising people who may be going through like similar things. So that was the main reason I started it. And then like as time has evolved, I started putting like just kind of fun stuff on there, like challenges with my friends, siblings, and like some funny videos with my dad as well, which I think are probably the most popular on my channel. People love the videos I do with my dad, which is mainly, so I've got him like looking at my Instagram pictures and rating them based on like a Ugandan father's perspective. And yeah.
What do you mean Ugandan father? And I've seen that you're writing my Ugandan father.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well,
You have two fathers?
No. But that's part of who he is, part of his identity. He's Ugandan. And to be honest, with my channel, I guess I do intentionally try to bring Ugandans in, because there's so much on the internet, right? So much on YouTube, so many videos. But when someone sees, oh, that's got to do with Uganda, I can probably relate to that. I'm going to watch it. I guess that's what I'm trying to do with my content, like bringing Ugandans together to watch my content, basically.
That makes sense. That's
Yeah.
cool. It's pretty cool. Do you do you have traumas you dealing with, things you can share and how you've dealt with them as you, or you just had life very comfortable for you?
No such thing as a comfortable life, of course.
But you look like you've had such a comfortable life. Like that's what you give off. Like yeah.
I mean, that would seem like it. Like
I know it can be like it, but
Yeah.
it's not like me. Like when someone looks at me, they'll know. Yeah, guys.
Why?
I don't know. It's there, but you. Nah.
I look like I've
Just
lived
living
an
a soft
easy life.
life. Yeah.
Lol. Yeah, I would say that I think the traumas that I've had is like.
Do you have like things from childhood you think would have been better, but they've come back to affect you in your growth now?
I wouldn't say like serious. No, not like deep things.
What are the deep things?
I don't know, like people have like really horrible things happen to them in their childhood, you know.
That's interesting. You know, I've ever been told, you see that dog? So some people get attached to their pets, like others get attached to their children. So you can never measure amounts of like deep shit. Like
That's true.
yeah,
I get.
You can't know how I feel about losing that dog.
Yeah.
And probably losing a child or something. Cause,
You can't compare.
yeah. So things like that and how you've dealt with them. That's like how I want to understand. Like okay, now like how do you? Where's your mental state at, and how do you make sure like you're really sane every day? First of all, you're in the high life. There's drugs, there's alcohol. People have all the stigma around all these things. So it ends up feeding into us, yeah, like because of these different stigmas and stuff. So and the bar life facilitates how fast you get hooked to any of this, to the lifestyle, to the trends, and you look like, yeah, because you've hosted a night, you can host a night in a bar, you can see all these people just come down to like have fun with you. How do you just keep, do I want to say zen? How do you keep yourself, like how do you get your mental
I think
space better?
I think it's just about staying grounded.
How do you stay grounded? That's the question.
Yeah. And like just staying true to who you are and what you know you stand for and believe in. So basically a big part of my life is my faith.
You're a Christian?
Yes.
You believe in God?
Yes.
And God has done wonders for you?
Of course.
And you want to tell the world about it?
Every day he continues to. God is good. Let's not forget that. God is good. But then, as a Christian, obviously there's a certain way you also need to, I wouldn't say like carry yourself, but like, I don't know, like a certain lifestyle that I know that based on like my faith and what I believe in, like I wouldn't follow or go down a certain kind of lifestyle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know that like it wouldn't be pleasing to God. Does that make sense?
What does God mean to you though? What's your definition of God? Like the whole concept. God. For you, how do you understand it?
Wow. God to me, he is my father. He's my friend, basically. I feel like with my faith, I have a relationship with God. Does that make sense?
No, you still don't explain like the concept of God. Like, you see, I don't want to say some other people don't believe in God, but they exist, yeah? But they have things probably. They do meditate and they understand who they are. They're present in the moment. Yeah, stick around it. Like, to you, what is it? Like, do you get into some shit, then go and pray, then maybe feel better, and then define that as God? Yeah, is this someone, or where you write your thoughts and you feel like there's a superpower listening to it, and this is what I go to? You said God is your father, but God doesn't pay your tuition. There's someone working to do all that. He guides me
through life. He protects me. But how do I connect with God is basically the question. So like through daily prayer, like just whenever I feel like I've got like issues, burdens, things that are troubling me, essentially just like laying it before him, asking him for like guidance, like how to move in every situation. And I do feel like he does communicate back. So prayer is like a two-way conversation. You speak to God and he also speaks back, can be in different ways. You may like feel within your heart like what he's telling you, or you may see signs around you. God communicates, well, this is what I feel like. I believe that God communicates with people in different ways. So he can show you a sign through like a billboard or like something happening.
So when did you see your sign?
That's not how he communicates with me.
How does he communicate with you?
So with me, he communicates, I hear God speaking. I hear his voice. And it's not like a loud voice, like let's say like me and you speaking here, but I hear it internally. And for me, it took a long time to decipher between what are my own thoughts and what is actually coming from God. Does that make sense? I don't know if this can make sense.
But you split. How did you get to a point where you split the thoughts to know that these are mine and these are from quote unquote God?
So there's a thing within like Christianity called like a gift of discernment. So to be able to decipher between what is of God and what isn't.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So like I had to pray for the gift of discernment, for God to help me to be able to differentiate between what's from him and what isn't. So like through praying from that, I do feel like I have the gift to know, okay, this is what God is telling me. This is not from God, if that makes sense.
And that is how you like get through, yeah? Like,
Yeah.
do you feel like you get in every situation and you're like, this is what God is telling me, and so everything that means that you're only doing perfect things, because you have to, there's
I feel like it's something I can tap into, but it's not a space where I'm in all the time.
Yeah,
it has to be intentional to get it, and it depends on like how connected I am to God in a certain time. So obviously you get periods where you kind of go off track a little bit and you don't feel as connected to God. So that's when things start to get a bit, I don't know, like a bit fuzzy in a sense, and you do feel like you need to pull back, okay, like get centered again, get back into your prayer corner, and get into a good space with God, so that you get like some clarity and things start to make sense. Personally,
that makes sense. It's a good way to live. Do you only listen to yourself through prayer?
Listen to myself or listen to God?
To your alone time, to like where you get to listen to your thoughts and probably get to that moment where there's like...
No, not really. I like to journal as well. So every so often, like I have a journal. I have journals for everything actually.
Yeah.
But I do have a journal where I write down
almost everything happening in your life.
Not everything, but let's say how I'm feeling at a certain point in time. Let's say I'm going through something, I'll just write down like my emotions, how I'm feeling, like my thoughts about it, and then also like what I would want to change. And
so at least you're present in most of the moments you're feeling some type of way.
Yeah, I mainly do that, I would say, when I'm not in a great headspace, where it's like everything in my head just needs to come out on paper. I guess like a form of expressing myself. I like to do that through writing. It makes me feel better as well, and I feel like it makes me see things a bit clearer when I can like note down, okay, it's this, and this that's making me feel like this, and this is what we're going to do about it, basically.
Have you figured out happiness in your life? And what it means to you, and what you can define as this is me happy, and
I can't say that I've figured it out, but it is a goal of mine. One of my goals in life is to be happy. But I don't know. I feel like, can you really be happy all the time?
No, you can't.
You can't.
Yeah, life just teaches you that every other day, that something has to give. Like, the smallest of things you could get already all dressed up to go out, and you've forgotten a pen, and just change your mood.
Just when you think you're happy, something happens. So it's kind of like a... But
at least you reach to a place, because now like me, I feel like there's been so many sections of my life that the little gratitude I have is all I need to, like, I could die tomorrow and I'm happy. I've achieved. I don't want to say achieved, because I've really not achieved anything. I need
don't
to
say that. I'm sure you have.
No, I feel like no, there's so much I have to achieve, and time is also running out. But I'm at that place where I understand that I don't need so much. Like I've seen it all. I've been blessed that I've been to worlds. I've been to the street where I've not had nothing. Then I've come back to communities. I've related to all different worlds, and it's interesting that at least the only thing I say I have managed to achieve in my 20 years is to be at this place where I can just look at things and like, I'll pass. Yeah, like, I mean, I keep working hard and getting there because I have so much to like get from this, but at least I'm content, like I know. And I feel like that is happiness to me.
Right.
Yeah, like, there's nothing else I want. Do you feel like you can die tomorrow?
Of course, I could die today. And
you be ready for that? Do you think if you died today...
can you ever be ready for death? I don't know, but...
like where you feel like even if I died, like it's okay. I'm good. I've lived my fair share of life.
Yeah. I mean, I know I haven't lived for that many years compared to, how old some people are, but... I don't know, I feel like I would be ready.
Do you feel your experiences with the people you've met and interfered with now, they will feel good about the experiences, all your people?
Like, you mean like interactions they've had?
Yeah,
with
like
people?
just yeah. You know, like how you'd like after this podcast, yeah. I'll at least know that I had this really good conversation with Jan Nakitende. It was just not about going to our nights. It would be something.
Yeah.
And you probably feel the same way, yeah? That's how most guests on the podcast feel. It's just calm. It's not about how much it's going to trend, how many numbers it's going to get.
It's just the conversation.
It's just the conversation and how people like really feel. Because we've had people just say, no, I felt like I didn't say what's right, so don't publish that. No, yeah, cool. Because it's about how they feel. It's just not conversation with my friends and my life. That's the goal of... If everyone feels good around you, I'm at a happy place and I can die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I think yes, because I won't say I pride myself, but I pride myself on being like a people person. So I do really enjoy like meeting people, especially like meeting new people as well and making friends with people. So, and I would call myself quite a positive person as well. Like, I'm not really a big fan of like getting into altercations or like fighting with people. So I do believe that most of the experiences that people have had with me are positive, and if I was to die today, God forbid, that people will have had positive experiences with me. But don't you feel like, I don't know, when like someone dies, everyone's always got something
good.
Like, yeah, this is when everyone
But
wants
it
to
has
say
changed
all
until
the
you're a
good
Ugandan
things.
politician. Then people be like, no, that guy, what, stole money for the HIV guys. He can't.
Yeah,
That's for politicians, it has changed. For everyone else, yes, people feel like they just have to say good things.
All the good
They give you flowers when you're
when you're gone.
Do you ever give your friends their flowers when they're still here and appreciate them?
I do try to, especially like people that I am really close to. I do try to. Like,
What does friendship mean to you? Like, how can you define your friendships?
What do you mean, like how I would decipher whether someone's a friend?
Yeah.
And not. I feel like friendships are like intentional. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not just someone that you just know, because you can know a lot of people, but then it's someone who like you intentionally, try to add value to each other's lives, if that makes sense. Whether that's like checking in on each other, maybe regularly, supporting each other where you can, encouraging each other in what you do respectively, just showing each other like love. And there's so many ways that you can express like your love for someone. Can be verbally, can be through actions, spending time with them. So for me, friendship is like, I don't know, those people who mutually we intentionally like try to
Be involved in each other's life.
involved in each other's lives. Thank you for finishing that sentence. Yeah.
You spoke of love. Have you experienced love in your life yet?
Yeah, I feel like
From like I love mommy and daddy to know I want to get I don't want to like put marriage as the achievement of love.
as the be all and end all. Yeah.
I feel like the only time I was really in love with someone, I knew that I could not marry them.
What does that mean? What? Why?
Because you like them so much, and
Seriously?
yes. Do you feel like because you love someone you're supposed to marry them?
What, like in a romantic sense?
Yeah, in a more romantic sense.
I feel like that's a personal decision.
Okay.
Because not everybody wants to get married. Not everybody. What?
That's not true. I feel like everyone really wants to get married.
Not everyone.
People just hide from it, but they do. I've found people with whatever it is, PhDs, whatnot, they have had all this life achievement. And if they're not married, something is...
Missing.
They're not married. That's it.
But on the contrary, I've met people who are like so against marriage. They're like, oh, marriage is just...
Did you feel like they're just projecting? Because of course there's a lot of bad PR around marriage, but there's also a lot of good people that are happily married. And when you think about the fact that you have life,
that's
you
not
can
even the
live
majority though, because like 50% of marriages end in divorce, and then even the people who are married, how many of them are happily married? To be honest, I think I just have like a very skeptical view on like love and marriage and stuff like that.
So you've not experienced love? Okay.
I have.
Okay.
let me not sit here and project.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that there is a very big number of happy and successful marriages. Does that make sense? I feel like a lot of them end, or either something happens. Like,
do you feel like that has been spiraled up with social media? Like you'd see, the algorithm is designed to, like, if there's someone threading about a negative thing about marriage and you like it at some point, at any given point in 5 years, those stories will still come to your feed. So that's what you'll see. But in the reality of things, you realize that living alone or just being there is not fulfilling enough. I do not know if you feel the same way, but that's how I feel, like me and the peers I have, and then the people I've seen. Then even people in bad marriages, at least they would rather, the risk of just staying alone is bigger than
staying in a bad marriage.
Yeah, they would rather be in a bad marriage as long as it's a marriage, because you see, there's it can't be bad all the time anyway. So
this is what makes me skeptical about marriages, because like I feel like even when like you idolize, well, that's
pull
like,
that to just, you can just pull it and lean back.
Like maybe like famous couples, like you look at them and it's like, wow, couple goals, and like you idolize their relationship, and then next thing you know it's ending in tears. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like personally I haven't seen a lot of good representations of good love.
You don't have power couples. You don't look at Jay-Z and Beyonce and be like, yo, I want to be like those guys.
The same Jay-Z that cheated on Beyonce.
Is cheating a deal breaker for you? But
yeah.
Is it, or like, do you feel like you're supposed to love one person? Like,
That's
you'd
the
be
thing.
out in a night and
I feel like that's the thing about life. And so I remember asking one of my friends one time, he's a really philosophical kind of thinker. And I asked him, do you feel like humans were made for monogamy? Because like even as like in our cultures, like Ugandans, like back in the day, like the men would never have one wife.
Yeah.
Like he would
even in the Bible. Yeah. Even in the Bible. All the great men and kings,
really,
everyone.
To be fair, those kings, like King Solomon had like 300 wives.
Exactly. All those kings, all the great men had, like, it had never worked. Polygamy has never worked. I do not know why people cling on it so much in answers.
Yeah. I do wonder where it came from, and maybe it's the reason why we do hear every other day so and so cheated on so and so, and that's why it's ended in.
So would you rather a man with 20 wives publicly proclaimed, and you're like number 17?
Me as me. Kayla, you just have to laugh because
Rashi, you can't.
It could never be me. Never, even if I was number one and he decided to get a number two, that's the point that I take my exit.
You're not gonna marry a Muslim.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Why? Why do you think like that?
I don't know. I feel like when I'm in like love or in a relationship, I'm not the kind of person who likes to like share my man first of all, like, or to be in competition with another girl for him. Like, he's either with me like 100% or
none.
Yeah.
But you didn't like. I interrupted in your like version of experience of love. And what you understand by it.
Love.
Yeah. Have you experienced love?
I think so.
Not like from the parents? Or would you actually define, because you see, when we grow up, then when I grew up, I realized that economies of scale had to win, so I didn't get time to experience love from my parents. My dad had to go out to work, then he had to take me to like a boarding school for all the time I had to go to school. I was in a boarding school.
Which school did you go to? I'm just interested.
I went to Kampala Academy.
Okay.
Then I left Kampala Academy. I went to Lubiri Nabagereka. That's primary. Nice. Then I left Lubiri. I went to Namiryango College. Then I left Namiryango College. Then I went to Pomaroyo College. Okay. And I finished. Then I went to Makerere University.
Nice.
So, but I feel I spent so much learning from life and from my parents. Much as it's not like their fault, or it could have been their fault, they could have worked harder. That's up to the superpowers. But so I cannot define the fact that I experienced love with my father. My father is a cool guy. Yeah, I like to be like him. He's very honest. He's a church guy. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. And I do all these things, but he doesn't do all these things. So it's really inspiring. He's very faithful and loyal. He has all the attributes I would want from a good man. But I still didn't. Like love, because there was no time for that. Like life pushed that. There was no time for that. So we had to learn the hard way. Yeah? It's not like we've turned out bad, but I feel like not experiencing that.
Yeah. But when you say love, what do you mean by that? Because again, like love is such a broad thing. Because maybe like as a father, like being present and the things that he was able to do for you, that's how he, you know, expressed his love. Maybe it wasn't in the way that you thought it should have been, like through affection and things like that. I don't know.
What do you think? How do you define your love?
Love. But that's the thing about love. I feel like love has so many different, not definitions, but different parts to it.
Yeah.
Do you get it? But where am I going with this? Love has so many different parts to it, and different people show love in different ways, and like they expect to receive love in different ways. So like for me, love. I'm trying to think about my love languages. You know the 5 love languages?
No.
Oh my gosh, let's talk about the 5 love languages.
Yeah.
So, the 5 love languages are...
First, what does love language mean? Like, this is how... I see people on timeline like, hey, my love language is like touch.
Yes.
Mine is gifts.
Yes.
The majority of female want the gift part of it.
So I don't know who came up with them, but there's this thing about like there being love languages. So the 5 ones are quality time.
Okay.
That can be a way to express your love to someone, like spending time with them. There's physical touch.
That is having sex all the time.
No, it can literally just be like, you know, holding hands, hugging, just like being in proximity, like touching someone. But I guess like sexual intimacy does come within that as well. There's gifts giving and receiving, acts of service. So let's say like
you have a paper and I read it for you, then explain it to you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Or like let's say I'm going out and I need my clothes ironed. If you could iron it for me, you know, just doing something, going out of your way to do something for your partner. Then the last one, what's the last one? What have we said? So quality time, physical touch, acts of service. Gifts. Those are 4. And there's one more. Oh, this is it. Words of affirmation. So like verbally. Yeah,
like, I have to remind you you're beautiful. I have to remind you how much I love you. Yeah. So because when you don't listen to this, you don't feel like.
Yeah, but like not everybody expects. Or
how do you get to know your love language?
It's just through experience, really. So, like, being with your partner. Like...
experience can't give it this time for me.
You think so? But
because I've had relationships since like S4, S2, and I've still not figured that out. Like,
but that's because
I give my whole to the person in that time until I can't be there anymore. I can't be present.
But you have to intentionally figure it out. So the fact that you weren't even like aware of the love languages, that makes sense that you wouldn't know yet. Yeah. But now that you know them, like just trying to see now, like based on your relationship, seeing what works, just thinking about it actively. It does take some time to figure out. But
so are you supposed to like get a match, the same match? Like, if I love quality time, then I get someone who loves quality time.
No. I think, so yeah, these all come under, like being in a relationship. But I think the point of them is that you need to know what your partner likes, like how your partner receives love, and then, try to show them love in those ways, because that's how they are going to feel loved, and that's how they're going to feel like the relationship is working, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what happens if I don't get back the same energy?
Well, then there's something wrong and you need to talk about it. So you may have different love languages, but you just both kind of need to be doing what your partner likes, if that makes sense.
Sacrificing for...
Giving yourself, basically.
Interesting. Do you know your love languages?
Yeah.
You just can't say them out on a podcast?
I can.
What are your love languages?
So I have two.
Yeah.
But then I have one that's in close third. But anyway, my two main love languages are acts of service. So like I like when my partner like does things to make my life easier, if that makes sense. Because yeah, it just makes me feel like, I don't know, like you actually care and like you're actually trying to like add value to my life, if that makes sense. And then my second one is words of affirmation. Like I'm really big on like, because I'm not inside your head, so I need to hear how you feel about me, if that makes sense. So you need to tell me that you love me, tell me, you know, how much I mean to you, these things. I need to hear it. Otherwise, for me,
You just can't get tired of them.
yeah.
But they also have to be like from a specific person, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You've connected to.
Yeah. It can't be from just anyone.
Yeah.
But I do feel like quality time is very important as well.
So all the five are important. What are like the picks you choose in selecting like a partner? Is it the sex, the respect, the companionship, the blend of the love languages?
What's the question? So like what?
What do you consider like some hierarchy? Like, you know what, my partner, it's either we're having really great sex together or he respects me a lot. Like those values you'd want from. I don't even know if sex is a value, but yeah.
No, really, I don't think so. But I guess it comes.
But it's such a big.
It comes under the chemistry. I think chemistry between you.
Okay. Do you have like a list of things you tick off from people you choose to become your partners? Because you know it's so important. One thing I realized from my life is the people I choose to spend my time with must be very important in my life, because then it can end. Yeah, I've had relationships that have cost me so much in my past. And I felt like I had shared, I had to start over. In my other life, I was not a podcaster. I didn't give a fuck about cameras. This is a whole new life, yeah? There was that other life, but then it died because it had attachments to other people. There was people that were involved, and I felt like they would be a big part of my life. Like I would spend the rest of my life with them, yeah? Because you again cannot predict life. It has no like instructions or things like that. Then switching up brought a whole new person, and I forget the question too, why I am telling you all these things.
It's okay.
Yeah, I do not know why I forget the question, but yeah, like do you have like a list? I remember like of things you have to choose, like someone has to like pass this.
I do, but I would say my list is not really like based on the relationship. My list is like what I look for in a guy, for example.
Yeah, what do you look for in a guy?
My list is so long and so specific, but anyway, we can get started on it.
Exactly.
So first of all, he has to be a Ugandan.
Why? Because I feel like that's racist. Okay, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but
I wouldn't call it racist, it's a preference. I mean,
it's like,
it's based on how I would want the dynamic of my relationship or marriage to be. I would want somebody who I can share my culture with. It's not somebody who I have to now start explaining and translating and like, you know. I feel like, because it's such a big part of my life and who I am, we have to be able to connect on that level.
Why isn't it a Kenyan? Okay, who understands Luganda and
I mean, if he understands Luganda and the culture, then maybe I could consider it.
Okay, but it's for you. It's because of the culture. Like you want someone you're looking at this long term, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And then he also has to be God fearing, because that's also a massive part of my life. Like I would need someone who like we can pray together. I just. Why are you laughing?
Praying and God is an interesting topic.
Why?
Yeah, it is. Because church, it's a good system to live by, in my opinion. Yeah, it has proven results. The Bible is such a successful book. It's also the most translated book. Now all these things, but there's a lot of manipulation that goes on. Yeah, that I don't agree with.
Okay.
And personally, I want to be a better human being every other day. That's how I live by. Yeah. So, but spirituality and Christianity and all these things, because I've seen more bad from them than good. Yeah. Like from the pastors, from the fake pastors. I have pastor friends, by the way.
Yeah.
They listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
From what I've seen them do or what they do and how they believe to how many to the difference between the financial difference between the people that go to church and then the guys that lead the churches. And this is crossover, whether they're born again churches, whether they're normal Catholic and Protestant things we grew up with, to the Muslims, to all that. I feel like it's a business. So the industry around God is a business, and if God himself cannot just come out to like put it together, it does not make sense to me. But however, I believe that I'm supposed to treat you well as a friend. I'm supposed to treat you the same way I would expect to be treated. Yeah, that type of treatment. So I'm aware of that. And I practice a lot. I practice with Jehovah's Witnesses, my friends. Brian, he will again listen to the podcast. So we go through verses and try to relate. The Bible talks about times like this where people are dying of hunger in like places like Karamoja. It has all these scenarios. Yeah. So I do believe that yes, it's such a very well written manuscript of how you can survive this world, but it's not the only one.
Of course, there are many others.
Yeah. So I'm just there, but I actually come from a very Christian family.
I see.
Strongly Christian. I used to be an altar boy in like school. They took me to school specifically because of the religion. Yeah. That's how I stand. But yes, that's number 2, God-fearing.
Yeah. I just want to address your point. Like, I totally like respect how you feel about like, I guess, the religion and how people have, I don't know, made it look like. But I do feel like because the Bible and like the religion is quite open to interpretation, everyone sees it in different ways. I think it's up to you individually to interpret it in a way, that.
Have you read the Bible?
Yeah.
Do you read the Bible?
Yeah, I do.
How easy is it for you to like? Do you have any things you think you're against
in the Bible?
Yeah. Or do you have to blindly follow it because it has produced results? Yeah, like you pray, you get quotes from it. I'm not saying you should shun that away, but do you have things you feel like, no, this is not right? Because first of all, the Bible was written by people who make mistakes. It was not like written by the superpower. So,
there are, to be honest, I want to say the Bible is a book that I fully understand and can fully explain to you, because like I haven't gone to like theology school or like any school to be able to do that. But again, like I said, it's open to like interpretation of what makes sense to you. And there are some things in there that
make sense to you.
That makes sense to me.
A lot of
things
them
that I do have to like question and be like, is this really like this? And obviously there will be like people who I go to ask questions about in the Bible. I think one of the things that like I think continues to like not trouble me, but like that I question about is like tattoos and piercings and stuff, because the Bible says like, oh, don't mark your body, don't pierce your body. But then you see like Christians, like even like pastors and stuff who have tattoos. Like I have piercings, so I'm thinking, okay.
Do you have tattoos?
No, I don't have any tattoos.
Do you want to have tattoos?
I mean, it's not something I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I really need a tattoo, but like it's not something that I'm like
against.
Totally
In this book, my friend Dale wrote it. So yesterday they were going through it over with Kenneth. He tells us men, he's speaking to the men. So he's telling us, do not wife a woman with tattoos. Do not. First of all is culture. Some people believe like that. They feel like. Yeah, but that's his opinion in this book. You don't have to read it.
Fair
you can read it. But
I can have a look. I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's based in a lot of as they were saying it yesterday on the podcast, is very anti-feminism. I don't know what you think about feminism, but that will be what we'll probably end with.
Okay.
Let's go with.
Yeah. Are we ending with it now? Because I feel like we have a bit of
time, yeah?
Loose ends that we haven't tied up.
Yeah, no, now.
Okay,
We're still
okay.
finishing. Yeah. Were you still explaining the Bible? Then go back to the list.
Yeah. So the Bible. No, I wanted to like touch on what you think. So because the Bible is so open to interpretation, I feel like some people have like, I wouldn't say like misused it, but sort of like twisted it in a way that now actually they're doing it all wrong. Like those pastors that you're talking about that are manipulating people and just using their power in like all the wrong ways, which is bad. And I agree with you, the fact that there are some really awful things happening like in the church. But I think it's just about finding the right
faith. How do you understand your faith? Like, do you understand faith? Can you like talk about your faith? Be like, this is how I understand my spirituality. Are you like accustomed to a church? Do you like go to church and born again? Do you listen to? Do you like have a spiritual person, like your personal pastor, and things like that?
I do. So before COVID, I feel like COVID disrupted a lot of things, and for me, COVID sort of like messed up my church routine, I would say. So obviously, I used to go to Liberty Christian Fellowship. It's a church in South London.
Yeah.
But because of the lockdown, all churches shut down and churches weren't operating for a while. So like since then, I've found it hard to like get back into that kind of a routine. But aside from that, I do like by myself and with friends as well, read the Bible, pray, and try to stay grounded.
That's how you grow every day.
In that sense. Yeah.
I remember that when we were growing up in nursery school, they used to tell us, read your Bible, pray every day. If you want to grow.
Yeah.
They're just forcing us to believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to number 3.
Number 3 on my list?
Yes.
We're still going. Okay. Number 3 on my list of things that I look for in a guy. So they start to get a bit superficial, don't judge me.
This is a guy you want to marry or a guy you
This is my
just...
husband.
Okay, husband.
My husband.
Yeah.
So he has to be Ugandan, God-fearing.
Yeah.
He also must be tall because I think that's just my preference, tall guys. I'm a short girl and I don't want to be having short children, so we have to find a balance. He also has to be really ambitious, so I don't like lazy guys who are like not really doing anything. Like you have to be working on something, working towards a goal and wanting better for yourself essentially. I would want someone who's also like how can I say this? He has to be like intellectually switched on, like either educated or like have an educated guy. Yeah, let me just say that. Because I'm also educated, so like I think it just makes sense. And the last one, he has to have a good sense of humor, because I want to be happy and I want someone who can like make me happy, make me laugh, and we can have good times together. So yeah. Interesting.
What legacy are you trying to leave behind? This is usually a question we bring when we're ending our podcast, but we're not ending a podcast.
We're not ending yet? Okay.
Yeah, but like you, I just keep understanding you. What legacy do you think you're creating and want to leave behind?
Do you know, I've actually never thought of that. I've never actually thought about it. Can we come back to it at the end? We have some time to think about it.
We'll come back to it to the end. Let's go to feminism. What do you think about women empowerment? And you bring up culture. A lot of culture steps on that. Not like it steps on it, but it's designed
to oppress women.
No, not to oppress women. It's designed because you see, it has produced also the most successful societies. Yeah, the patriarchy system kind of way. It has some evidence to it. That's why it's still successful. That's why people have adopted to it. And much as equality for all really helped solve so many things, you just can't wash it away. But to you, what does that mean? What does women empowerment mean to you?
I think women empowerment to me is like encouraging women to know that they're more than just like a housewife, more than just a mum. Like there's so much more to us that we can contribute to society, that we can be in those positions that men stand in or that were traditionally for men. We can be presidents of countries, we can be, CEOs, and we can do all the things that, I don't want to say like all the things that guys do.
Yeah. Because you really can't do all the things that guys do. If they put away men from the world for like 2 days,
you think things would go left?
Yeah, they would go left because men build the houses, they carry the rubbish, they do what they do. There's so much hard stuff around the day-to-day movement that is just built for.
I think that men and women do have like their specific roles, what they do contribute, but I don't think that men are superior to women in any way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So even though maybe what we contribute is different, comes from a different angle.
Would you wake up in the night to kill the thieves if they came?
Kill the thieves?
Yeah.
If I had no other option.
If I'm in a house with you, we share a house together, hypothetically. Yeah. And I had a long day at work, but then the thieves come. But because you stayed at work and we are equal in some sense, you stand up and fight the thieves.
No, I would expect you to wake up and take the lead, even though I would try to help in any way that I can. Yeah.
So your view on equality is around just women having the same fair share as men?
I don't think we can be the exact same. Yeah. But I think it's important to understand that as our respective genders, we have our roles, but I do think that women shouldn't feel as though they're inferior to men, that they can also step up and do, I would say mainly in society, the jobs that men do, in the corporate world, being engineers. I think, you said men build houses, but I don't think it would be, wrong to see a woman on a construction site, helping.
But have you looked at the work that is involved in? Do you think a woman's body would really adapt to it? Yeah. The hardcore. Besides, of course, there's so much. My sister is an engineer. She builds houses. She draws plans and stuff like that.
See, this is stuff we love. Female empowerment. We love it.
Yeah, but I'm saying the real hard, doing the same things. Because doing the same things mean that I need to see a girl lift up the cement. Yeah. If there are men doing that, then women should do that. If it's going to be the same at the top, it should be the same at
the bottom as well.
But then that cannot be achieved,
Yeah.
This goes into payment, into content creators, female content creators sometimes feel like they're underpaid.
There is a gender pay gap everywhere. Even in for example, what I do, doctors in the UK, men do get paid a certain percentage more than women do.
How do you feel about that? Is it because one, you have some time off work as a woman? Because there's that, you have to account for all that.
Yeah, I think that all does play a role into it. So it's multifactorial. Yeah. Obviously, women can't give as many hours, especially if they have children at home. So doing those things of taking up extra shifts, you've got to think about the kids first. So maybe that is why men do end up, I guess, being available more to work, and that's why they end up accumulating more money than we do, even though we're working the same job. But those differences, those inequalities do exist, I feel everywhere. I don't know where I'm going with this point.
As a woman, do you feel there's a way you can raise your daughter to feel like they don't have to compete?
To compete?
Yeah, from your experiences in life, do you feel like you're being inferior to have you, like, this is you as Jan Nakitende, have you felt inferior at some point because you're a woman?
With, I would say with the life that I've lived personally, no. But when I look around at like lives that maybe other people may have lived, especially like in this country, like in Uganda, like when you see like girls don't really have the same opportunities as boys in simple things as just going to school and getting an education. You do see how girls are kind of put down and not prioritized as much as the boy child. But personally, no. Yeah.
It's been fair, at least. You call it a fair trade.
Yeah.
It's good. How much of your gratitude of having, let's say, the parents you have and being in the situation you're in, how much of that defines your life? How grateful are you to like live through the next day? The answer could be as simple as I'm a very grateful person, or you try and give personal story to it, like, because you've seen some stuff, and then you look at where you are and where you've been, you're like, you know what, I'd rather have it my way than
I don't understand the question. I feel like you're asking like 10 questions in one.
Yeah. What does gratitude mean to you?
Okay. To me, gratitude, trying hard here not to use the word grateful, but literally just appreciating.
But yeah, you're a grateful person. Like
I am. I really am. I think it's literally just about appreciating, like, even the small things in life. Because, like, of course, we're all at any one point going to have, like, problems and things to complain about. But there are also, like, blessings and reasons for you to, like, be grateful in life. Even, like, the small things, like, even waking up in the morning. Some people don't. There's, like, having people in your life that love you. I think, there's always things that you are able to look at and like appreciate and be grateful for. And I think it's a good way of like keeping yourself positive as well, and keeping yourself in like a good headspace when you can just, identify things in your life that are going good, because not everything is going to be going good all the time, but there are always things to appreciate. Nice.
Do you have role models you look up to in the fashion world?
In the fashion world? That's very specific. I have role models in general. In the fashion
Who are your role models?
world.
No, you're building yourself as the icon. What inspires your fashion sense?
Wow. I don't think I really have an like inspiration. I just see something, and if it looks good to me, then I like it.
It's there's no like theory to it, like I'm putting on this because I want to feel like like someone from the past, or their attitude, or how they carried themselves.
No.
Yeah, like maybe some strong woman who is.
No.
It's just you picking what you like.
Yeah.
And your role models in life?
In life?
Yeah.
I have a few. Like strong women, my mom being number one.
Are you only saying that because she will listen to the podcast?
I don't even know if she will. I mean, I hope she does, Mom, if you're watching. But no, I say that from a genuine place because, like, I'm quite close with my mum. So, like, she shares with me a lot of the things she goes through, and just seeing how she's handled. You feel like
you're living some of her experiences, yeah?
Not really.
The guide yours.
Just seeing how she's handled what she's gone through, and how she's, still, I don't say surviving, but like still living. Yeah, that inspires me a lot. So I hope to be able to, if I like run into challenges, be able to handle them the way that she does as well. And she does a lot. Oh my gosh. My mom, that's a whole nother conversation, but yeah.
It's going, right?
Yeah.
What does your mom mean to you as a woman?
As a woman?
Like, how much of her character defines you? Her being the mom?
I think a lot, if not all. Like, a lot of the way that I am is because of her. Like, of course, you the first people who you like learn things from are your parents. So like even their mannerisms, the way they act.
And you feel like that was like a perfect match, yeah? like, because you don't get to choose our parents. Yeah, like our parents make us.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like? Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like I needed to have Oprah as my mom? Okay, Oprah is just too rich. Michelle Obama, rich and no, still rich, just and
Or like wishing that she was my mom instead of
yeah,
my actual
something
mom.
like that. It doesn't have to be those two people, but like yeah, in a situation like you know what?
I feel like we all do that. We all fantasize about like, oh, like how would life be if like I was in that family, for example.
Yeah.
If I was an Obama.
Which family have you ever thought of to be a part of? Which great family?
Maybe the Obamas. I've thought about it.
The Obamas?
Yeah, the Obamas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I haven't been able to tell you the rest of my role models.
Yeah.
The rest of my role models, actually, Michelle and Oprah are on the list.
Okay.
I feel like I look up to strong, black, powerful women. On my list as well is Naba Gereka, the Queen of Uganda. I love her aura. First of all, like she's educated, and the
She's calm.
She's calm. Exactly the way she
I
carries
used
herself.
to go for. First of all, I went to her school. Then I used to attend Chisakati.
Really?
When I was growing up.
Yeah.
I went to like a single boys school.
Yeah.
So somehow my parents felt like the only way we could grow in some sense, since they had to go and work, so they spent a lot less time with us between the maids and school. So they took us to Saka. They took me amongst all my siblings. It's me also who maybe accepted. The rest were like too stubborn for it. But she's such a strong woman. Like you'd love her being around. I remember her interactions, her school, because she used to like come maybe on a day and teach something. Yeah, she's such a powerful woman. Exactly. She's also very away from the negative news. Like you don't get that from like a queen. At least there's some drama around, but you never hear that. I don't know if she's just too powerful that she pays the media out not to write any bad things about her, or she's just really a good person. Like the Katikio is a very good man. And you will have a few stories in the news that are shady.
A few scandals.
Yeah, but the queen, for the time she's been on her reign, she's aced it.
I feel like queens in general are like that though. They have
No, but at least there's scandals on Queen Elizabeth. Like you'd see
but
negative.
But that's not based
praise.
on her, like what she's done. That's based on her empire and her forefathers and like what's come before her. Like personally, I feel like
You like the queen a lot.
I wouldn't say that I like her a lot.
Yeah.
But like I don't think that she's a bad person.
Sure.
But no, I was just gonna say I feel like queens in general, because they have like an image to uphold, so they must have like a team around them who I don't want to say like control them, but like tell them
The man is their PR.
Yeah. That's what I want to say. They can't do certain things. Do
you feel places. Like you need PR in your life?
Maybe
because you become fashion model. Do you call yourself a model? Do you model for fashion?
Yeah.
So you're a doctor, model, and content creator. Okay. Do you feel like you'd need PR in your life? Like it can be such a mess that you'd need.
Yeah, I feel like PR definitely probably would make life easier, but one day.
I don't think it's necessary for anyone, even if they become a celebrity.
You think so?
Yeah.
I just feel like
we don't get the version of you, and this is why this is like a bigger picture of how people idolize celebrities, then they get disappointed. Like I grew up a lot on rap music, but then coming to grow up, then understanding business, then understanding that people were doing some things because just a business. So these were never their lives. Was heartbreaking. A candle in the morning was telling me how he stopped listening to Kanye West when he dropped Graduation. Like after Graduation, he didn't want to listen to the new Kanye West because he felt like he could not relate anymore, to the new person, to the new developments, to the person singing about the money and the beaches, and he had a different relation with him. So I feel like there's a lot of that with celebrities, and I think I'll one day have a conversation with a person on how it is to be a celebrity in Uganda, if it's the same thing, because then there are interesting stories that have come up with where we see Weasel beating the wife. What do you think about that?
What can I think about that?
What do you think about domestic violence? But also, what do you think about the fact that he's a celebrity who has also lost two brothers in a space? He's probably not in the right mental space. So maybe the world is judging him unfairly, but there's like nothing to judge because, of course.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like he's been through a lot and maybe he's just expressing it in the wrong ways. Domestic violence, that goes without saying, it is wrong and nobody should, ever have to go through it. So yeah.
But as a doctor, do you ever feel like people get enough help? People understand themselves? Just being a celebrity, just having notifications online could negative. Let's say you're in some drama, could fuck up your whole week or day. Or now, what would mean when something like that happens to your life?
What's the question? So,
do you feel like people don't get enough help? Do you also believe in therapy?
Yeah, I do. I feel like everybody should get therapy.
I feel like it's a scam.
Why?
I've been to therapy and I don't feel like I changed. Like, I want to be a better person, so I listen to a lot of stuff that makes me a better person.
Yeah.
My podcasts, my playlists,
yeah.
The books I decide to read and all that. But going to talk to someone else about my problems feels weird to me. I feel like no single one person has that much power to like, I don't care what they've studied or people relationships and stuff.
Yeah. I feel like maybe then you went to the wrong therapist. Because the right therapist will encourage you, I don't know, like, will just lead the conversation down in a way that will make you, like, figure out different things about, like, why you think the way you think, why things make you feel the way you feel, and to help you to understand yourself and to, like, live with more clarity, I would say. Yeah.
What are some of those stories that interest you the most internationally and here locally?
But see, when you asked me this question, I didn't get it. Because what do you mean by stories?
Anything. Like, it could be climate change being a thing here. Could be the Russia-Ukraine war leading to fuel prices being up and people surviving. Could be just the party life. Anything you feel like, like this is quite interesting about maybe locally or, this is the Kardashians broken up with Pete Davidson.
I don't keep up with that stuff.
You don't?
No.
Do you watch reality TV?
Not really. When people speak to me, they think I live under a rock. Because there is so much that I just do not keep up with. Like, I don't know. What do
you keep up with?
That's a good question.
Yeah. What do you keep up with?
General news, like not celebrity gossip, like.
You don't like to keep in people's business?
No. Like, the only way I can get to know about something, maybe if I'm like scrolling on social media and it's like big news, or like if somebody says, oh my gosh, did you hear about this? And I'm like, no. Then that's how I might get to know. Like, even the whole Weasel stuff, I didn't know about it until like literally yesterday, and someone was talking about it, and I was like, huh? How does everyone know this? But yeah, I think I'm quite tunnel vision in a sense. Like, I focus on school, I focus on like my content, things that I need to do, and everything else that goes on. I don't really keep up with a lot.
Do you think your content is going to be sustainable enough to keep up your lifestyle, to like maintain your lifestyle?
In terms of like making money
from it? Or you still need the job as a doctor? You feel like your lifestyle will be so expensive, like for you and whoever you relate with?
I don't see myself leaving my job as a doctor at the moment, because for me that's part of my main purpose, so I need to pursue that. In terms of the content being sustainable, I don't think it's something I would pursue full time. It's always just going to be something on the side. But yeah, I do think it's something that I can maintain and keep doing as life goes on. Obviously, as I grow, things in my life will change. Probably will get married, have kids, and all of that could be, part of what I put out through my content. So, yeah.
So, stories internationally, I give you a local story. I give you an example.
Yeah.
You'd have like something that really picks your mind on, like books you read, like really that means something to you. Music. You're a very good friend. It's with, I don't know if it's just friendship, but with a very talented artist. Like, so what does music mean to you? Like, you must. There's no way you can be in the presence of Apos, because I rate him as one of like the most talented people I know in this country from like Radio Mose. He's up there with those guys whose lyrics I see. I saw him the other night. He's always sharing his stuff. Like, you have that bond. So to you, how do you understand music? Is it something that is part of your life?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I could go a day without listening to music. And the thing I love about music is like music comes in like, there's like such a massive variety of it. Like, there's a music to fit every mood. Do you get it? It's like if you're feeling sad, there's like music that can facilitate that mood for you. If you want to get into a vibe, there's music for that.
What music puts you in a vibe?
I really like Ugandan music.
What's your best Ugandan music? Give me a top 5.
What songs?
Yeah.
It changes.
This holiday.
Ooh.
Your top 5 this holiday.
I'd have to look at my playlist.
Please look at your playlist.
You're really trying to get this out of me. Okay. Let me see. Do you know what's so funny?
Yeah.
I've just seen that my grandma has just joined Snapchat. That's so funny. Random. We'll get into that. So I quite like Vinka.
Yeah, she's really good. I don't know why she didn't get a concert. She's the only Songs Avenue person that has not done a concert.
I think they're probably working on it because obviously she's under the same management with
Winnie and Azawi.
And Azawi's just had one, so maybe she's next.
Then Winnie's next. Winnie Nwaji.
Yeah. So I think maybe they'll do them one at a time.
But I just feel like her time, there's a time where she really deserves the concert. Because right now she has to release new music.
But wasn't that around lockdown?
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, yeah, that was actually around lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's really still a heavy performer. I like
she
her
is. Oh,
performance.
she's so good on stage as well.
Very good on stage.
She'll get a concert, I'm sure.
So Vinka?
Vinka. Can I just name artists?
Yeah.
Okay. Vinka. I quite like King Saha. I feel like Sheba's been a bit quiet these days. Maybe it's just me.
Sheba is cute, sexy.
I mean, in terms of her music.
In terms of
I'm
her
not talking
music,
about these people as people. I mean,
yeah, I'm saying this is. Let me just listen to my point.
Yeah, go on.
Like, she's cute, sexy. She's a good dancer.
Yeah.
But I can only listen to her music from the club where like it's loud. Like, yeah.
It's not music you would sit at home and listen to.
Yeah.
I get.
Yeah, so that's the thing with me and Sheba. But I really like her a lot. I go to her concerts. I like to see her perform. I like seeing her on screen. Like, she's like a Rihanna. Like, she has. You'd want to see her.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, Sheba.
I'm looking at my list. Give me a second. Okay. No, yeah. So we said
Vinka.
Yeah. King
Saha, Sheba.
Fick.
Oh. What do you like about Fick?
I like his music.
Do you understand his music?
I think so. Why would you ask that?
Because
it's not hard to understand.
You know, Fick is singing for
a different kind of people?
No. Of course, there's the vibe. There's the production. The production will get in the vibe. But I'm saying the message is trying to put... I don't think you relate to that message.
Why?
Because it's not... saying there's no struggle in my life is fucked up. It's a stupid thing to say, but I'm saying he's... And I know this from one of the things I like about Fick. One of the reasons he's the only Ugandan whose concert I can never miss. Because I saw his transition in a minute. Like, I saw him from being the type of boy you just send around to being such a huge superstar. So, like, it's incredible in my mind. Like, this guy... To me, it's magic. Like, I look at him and like, these are people who like really put their mind to stuff and they achieve it. Like, I've seen him from not being a superstar to being a superstar. Like really seeing it visually without being told the story. Like, hey, I worked so hard to get where I am, or I produced a lot of... I just really saw it. 1 month, we were with him in some space. He doesn't like know me personally, but shared some space with him. Then months from then, I could just see a superstar I'm going to see perform. So there's that. But I don't feel like your music. How do you relate to these artists? Is it what they sing, the lyrics, the beat, the vibe, or all of them mixed together?
I'll say mixed together.
King Saha, of course, the voice is incredible. Do you understand the love he's singing about? Because he's singing about I'm a child neighbor. You've probably not grown up in the same neighborhood.
For me, yeah, but to be honest, like you say, maybe some of the things I don't live through those experiences, but it does give an insight, into a different kind of life, and I think that's what I like about it as well. I get to see something that I don't see every day, so I guess that's what interests me. But I do also enjoy like the beat, the vibe, the lyrics as well. Like I said, through Ugandan music, that's how I learned.
How do you compare the music? How do you relate to the music, the UK music? I don't know if you listen to UK or US music and music down here. Like in terms of really the time spent on listening, I don't know if you use Spotify, but like calculates the average time you spend on every song. So how much time do you spend on Western music as compared to Ugandan music?
I would say I spend more time listening to Ugandan music.
Oh, that's nice. I don't.
I know. It's hard.
It's not like it's hard. It's really good music. Again, I listen to a lot of April's music, and not just the new stuff. I listen to most of the old stuff, the So High. I'm a part-time stoner in my life, so I like music that gets me high. So I listened to So High. I listened to that because there was a lot of lyricism, his music is built around communicating. What he's trying to say is like he has lived it, he has seen it, he has been through stages. I think his blockbuster to Kubigere at some point was like, you know what, we're just walking through these streets, but at some point we'll drive on them, and he's lived through that. He's like a Bobby Wine in the making. So I'd relate to such music. Used to love radio and Weasel because of course it's radio, it's singing. You can't skip radio. He's touched souls. So there's that, like I want to listen to what the creator is trying to communicate for me to be able to like just be in the music. But I'm also not like someone who goes out to the bar a lot. So the vibe, it's the message before the vibe to me. The vibe, I get it from all the types of music I listen to. I listen to a lot of Western music, so much rap music. So most of that informs my perspective on life, So because of course those guys are rapping a lot of hardcore suffering, getting through it, and that's like the type of energy you need to get through Uganda. Really, you have to that's how I relate to their music.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you figured out the legacy thing?
The legacy thing. You took me on a tangent. Oh my gosh. The legacy thing. I don't want to start a sentence.
Before we go to the legacy, still figure it out. Who are you? We just started the podcast. You didn't tell us who you are.
So my name is Jan Nakitende Mukibi. I am a Uganda
girl. Give you
girl.
Uganda names.
Yes.
Completely.
Yeah, because I'm a Uganda.
Fancy.
I have to have an Uganda name. Nedida Lugave.
Akabira.
Malere.
That's going to tell you I'm going to give you money if you pass it, but thank God I didn't pass it.
Oh my gosh, I should have kept quiet.
Oh, interesting. Jan Mukibi, Wadida Lugave, Kabiro, Malere.
Yes. What else can I say? I'm a child of God. Faith is a big part of my life. I'm a sister to 2 brothers, daughter.
You're the last.
No, I'm the first. Do I give you last born energy?
Yes.
Really? Oh,
interesting.
My God.
No, not from the conversation though.
Right.
From the conversation, no.
Yes.
From like the person I thought I knew.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, that's probably.
That is hilarious. I'm. What can I say about myself? Well, there's a lot. I'm a pageant queen, Miss Uganda UK.
You are still Miss Uganda UK. You've been Miss Uganda UK for how long?
Once you have the title, you have the title, but I'm not. There is actually a current Miss Uganda UK. No, shout out Caitlin. Her name is Caitlin Ochana.
Yeah.
She won in 2019 actually, but because of COVID, she's still reigning. And actually, we're gonna crown a new Miss Uganda UK this year, so that should be interesting.
You'll be back for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll be hosting that. They asked me to host that event, so that should be interesting. More about myself. I'm a doctor.
No, like, who are you doesn't mean like what
do I do?
Not even just what you do. Like, how would I say who I am? I'm a salesman.
Yeah, that's what you do though.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what I'm saying.
But I don't want to say it like that. Like, I want to say things like, no, finish. Let me just listen to you.
I'm done.
Doctor, and that's it.
Yeah.
Have you figured out the legacy? So we can conclude. Do you have anything else you feel like you have not talked on?
Not really. I feel like we've spoken about a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. This is a really good conversation for me. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. What legacy are you trying to leave behind? Do you want drinking water?
At the end of the conversation. Yeah, I mean, I guess. But I have some, actually.
Okay. Then we'll just get done and...
Yeah. My legacy. I'm not going to lie. Like, this is just something I've never thought about. But I think maybe I'll just fit it.
But I actually asked if you wanted water when you guys had just come in the tour.
Really?
Yes. That's the thing with
I
Abus,
don't
but
remember.
you just kept quiet. I went to the mirror.
Okay. No, yeah, my legacy would be to leave an impact or make a change to the Ugandan healthcare system. I think it's a big task, and it's definitely something I probably won't be able to do by myself. But it's definitely an impact I want to have left behind by the time I leave this earth.
Why did you choose becoming a doctor?
When?
Why?
Yeah,
and what informed, like, when? When did you?
When?
Yeah, when did you make the choice that, you know what, I'm gonna do medicine?
Probably when I was about 16.
And what informed your perspective? Do you have an idea of, like, you know what? Yeah, I didn't want to become anything else. Now I want to go and treat people. Because of this, you know?
Yeah, to be honest, I like to think about things logically, and I thought about really what all my options were in life based on like things I'm good at, like subjects I was good at in school. And that was narrowed down to like the sciences really. Not to say that like I was dumb in other subjects, but just, I don't know, things that I enjoyed. Yeah. And when I looked at like what my options were with that, I couldn't really see myself doing anything else. Like, I didn't have a passion for anything else other than medicine. I know there are other parts of healthcare. I actually thought about being a pharmacist, which is, you know, within the same field. I thought about being a radiographer as well, which is a little bit different. But then when I thought about like what I wanted to do, like my purpose, which around 16 is when I figured it out, I thought, okay, no, the only thing that makes sense, the way I need to do this is through becoming a doctor. So, yeah.
All right. Quite frankly, that's it for this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for sitting it all through without the water.
That's okay.
But you should know it's really been a great conversation for me.